Okay, so we're going to talk about the pelvis, the iliac, uh, which is the bony bit of this structure, which is your pelvis. And it's such an important, integral part of our body, but also in Pilates, we talk about it all the time because the way it hangs, the way we hold it, is very important in relation to your alignment and your efficiency of how you go about your exercise and your life. So it's a bit of an education. So we use this prop, imagining this is your pelvis, because so many people refer to the pelvis as the bowl-shaped structure that it is. If pelvis obviously isn't exactly like this. There's a big hollow at the front, and actually we hold our pelvis slightly like this. But for the purpose of just trying to get across about it, we think of it as a bowl. And your pelvis, like I say, is this bony structure. But then we have the bottom of the bowl, which isn't bone at all. It's flesh, it's muscle, and it's called your pelvic floor, and it's the beginning of our core. And the way we identify the muscles of your pelvic floor, the way we all know and love them, is when we're desperate for the loo and suddenly you are involuntarily or voluntarily holding those muscles in to stop you trumping or weeing or other things when it's not convenient. So those desperate for the loo muscles are your pelvic floor muscles, and they're integral for keeping your intestines and your bladder and those organs into place. And literally, it's muscle holding all of the inside of you in, not bone, which might be quite useful, but then if it was bone, we couldn't have all of the orifices that take what's inside out of our bodies, and things that we need to come into our bodies happen. So it's been wonderfully designed inadvertently by man to have to be fleshy, so that you've got your orifices, so that you can obviously exit the things that we don't need in the body, but they're intricate muscles so that we can control. And it's a system of involuntary and voluntary muscles which work to hold all of those things in appropriately. So the way we identify the muscle is to imagine we're desperate for the loo, either one, and women have an extra little orifice that we can also hold up and engage. And it just takes a little bit of practice to work out where they all are. And you can do them individually, but you can recruit them as a group as well and hold them up. And nobody can see that in class. I can talk about the pelvic floor, but I don't actually know what's going on. Although when I see myself activating my pelvic floor, I can see it suddenly as I draw them up. There's maybe a little bit of something there, but more actually I notice when we scoop up and draw the purse strings of our pelvic floor upwards, we marry that with drawing the belly button towards the spine as well, and that's drawing in your abdomen, and that really helps recruit the whole of your pelvic floor and that area of your abdomen, which is very useful for, it's literally like a girdle. It's like getting your Spanx on, holding your pelvis in place, and your sacrum at the back of your pelvis there, so that you can execute exercises and you can move much safely, having that recruitment of muscle there, literally holding you in like a girdle. So this is why we often use the bowl as an analogy to help you connect with what's going on in your body visually there. Okay, so that's your pelvis and your pelvic floor.